shit. Here we go again.
Hello everyone. So today we're going to be talking about a character who is a doctor, is cybernetic, and actually in fact turns into a crocodile. Of course, we're talking about Dr. Crocodile. Now the creators of Dr. Crocodile are Jamie Delano and Alan Davis. And his first appearance was in Captain Britain number 9 of September 1985, and he appears in 27 issues total. Now, Dr. Crocodile's real name is Joshua Ndingi and is the son of Jonas Ndingi, who was the leader of the Gowan tribe of the Mbangawi Independence and is currently the king of Mbangawi. Now, as a young man, Joshua was sent by his father to England for an education. Now, during that time, he became a member of the RCX. Now, his job was to take mutated children, known as warpies, and to put them under government care, alongside his colleagues Michael and Matthew. Now, while Matthew, later known as Gabriel, and Michael take care of the parents, Joshua was the one to deal with the children, as he was one of the only agents who were actually worried about Nigel Orpington Smythe's overall plans for the warpies. Now later, during a typical everyday mission, he was scarred terribly when a warpy baby who he had just took into custody had exploded in his face. The RCX and even the British government spent millions outfitting him with new cybernetic implants and parts. Their official explanation for all of this was that he was horribly burned during a car accident. He then returns back to Africa to inherit his late father's throne as the ruler of the Mbangawi. However, occasionally he had to leave his country for medical maintenance on his cybernetic implants and body parts. Now, while serving as king, his people adored him more as a godlike being. Despite his king-ruling title, he actually prefers being called president, as he was actually uncomfortable with his people idolizing him as a god. Now, once Joshua obtains the throne, things became better within his country. The justice system, healthcare, and educational standards all improved under his rule. There were two main troubles within the tribe that originally his father faced, but he could never conquer: corruption and each tribe's rivalry with each other, which was causing infighting. Now, to put an end to this, he recruits Kura, the witch woman of the Jidar tribe, to be his confidant and advisor. This was mostly due to the fact that she had mental powers that she could use to weed out the corruption that was taking place within the tribes. He has since established and maintained working relationships with such countries as Kenya or Wakanda, working alongside King T'Challa. He is also known to be close friends with Zanzibar President Jono Baraka. Now, seeking to bring justice to the region, he had his men capture the slave trader known as Jamie Braddock while he was on Mbangawi soil during the Trans-African Rally. Now, meanwhile, the Mbangawan authorities would pretend to give the rescue teams full cooperation in the searches. Joshua's old RXC colleagues had actually tricked him into believing Jamie's brother, Brian, aka Captain Britain, was complicit in Jamie's crimes. So Joshua lures Captain Britain to Mbangawi for his waiting punishment. However, upon Joshua learning Captain Britain was innocent, he lets him go. Having learned of Jamie's crimes, in turn, Brian leaves him to serve out Doc Croc's own punishment. Using his gas, he convinced Gatecrasher of the evilness of the TechNet target, where Jamie defeated the whole of TechNet and turned the Dr. Croc into a genuine but very small crocodile. Joshua was later found and turned back to normal by his witch woman Kura. Joshua then represents Mbangawi in the Pan-African Congress on the treatment of superhumans, which are hosted in Wakanda in search of a consensus on how to actually react to the American version of the Superhuman Registration Act. However, the representatives failed to reach an agreement before the Congress disbanded. Later on, when Warpies began being born in Mbagawi, Joshua had already left to perform a needed medical maintenance of his cybernetic body, which resulted in a less robotic face. However, when he returned, he witnessed his soldiers isolating the mutants and taking the doctors as hostages, which brings him into conflict with the X-Men after having ordered his men to send the mutants home and to execute the children. Now, they quickly fight at the X-Men's side against the Furies, who were tracking down a new and lost Jim Jaspers with trans-reality transportation powers that are linked to Jasper's warps. When the fight finally ends and the Furies dead and gone, Mdingi visited the asleep Jim Jaspers and shoots him before any of the X-Men could react, to prevent him warping again and provoke more Warpies' births. Dr. Crocodile then leaves, blaming the X-Men for the paternalism and the hypocrisies of the developed countries and claiming to be one of the only ones who really care about his country and or people. Now, as far as powers and abilities go with this character, he has access to a powerful arsenal using his cyborg body. His robot arm can spray a hallucinogenic green gas that makes his victims experience full sensory illusions, which is sort of like DC's Scarecrow's nerve gas. However, Dr. Crocodile can actually direct those illusions to gain information or even find out a measure of a person's true character. The cybernetic arm also provides many weapons for close or long-range combat. With his cybernetic implants, he has obtained superior agility, super strength, and can even hypnotize his opponents or captives. As a former government agent, Dr. Crocodile is also trained to fight hand-to-hand and is also a weapons master. And we have to say, Dr. Crocodile is about as interesting a character as there can be. From the really hard to pronounce names to the odd powers to even being turned into a small crocodile, it's also very interesting. We really like these type of characters because they're just so far out there, and it's just so neat to see all the different kind of interactions between the Excalibur cast versus the Wakandans. It's actually kind of neat to know that those two groups have interacted. That's kind of cool. Anyway, you guys have an awesome night, a great evening, a super morning, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that. Also, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think of this video, as well as maybe write down a character that you would like to talk about, and we'll see if we can't make it happen. As always, Excelsior.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.